Hello, I'm David Fairbairn-Day, Head of Education Strategy for Promethean. Renewable energy sources over the past 10 years have been an increasingly important item on the agenda of most governments, not least the need to find alternatives to fossil fuels and the concerns about energy cost and supply. As well as this, the cost of producing renewable energy continues to fall and its efficiency and productivity continues to rise. As a result, they're becoming a more realistic option for energy supply, and the opportunities for personal, social and economic development for greater numbers of people in developing countries are also increasing. What I'm going to talk about today is the potential renewable energy has in capitalising on large numbers of the population in developing countries who have previously been unable to access educational, vocational and professional opportunities due to the lack of reliable electrical supply. As you can see here, over 1.2 billion people are still without access to electricity worldwide. Despite rapid technological and infrastructure advances, the number of people in developing countries without electricity will actually increase, not reduce, over the next 15 to 20 years. It's an unfortunate reality that the access and opportunity gap will continue to grow, given the increasing reliance on technology to deliver basic services. However, getting reliable electricity and connectivity to remote locations via renewable energy is becoming much more cost-effective and practically possible. Off-grid solutions are increasingly efficient, affordable, and can now create the levels of power required to support sustainable infrastructure. And most importantly, off-grid solutions are becoming much more portable, flexible, and reliable. In terms of all types and phases, this means access to technology can revolutionise education for those for whom it is currently out of reach. And here I'm going to talk about a few examples of how this might occur from specific students. So my first example is Hussein, who lives in a remote town in North Africa. He's achieved excellent grades in his secondary education and would like to study agronomics at university so he can help the farmers in his region maximise their crop yields and maintain the land for long-term efficient use. This degree is only available in the capital city 400 miles away, and he can't afford to travel and stay there for the duration of his studies. However, through the provision of off-grid local solar power that provides internet access and connectivity, Hussein is able to carry out his degree studies in his town via MOOC courses delivered by the National University in collaboration with a specialist university overseas. He travels periodically to his university for validation and evaluation, and is also able to put into practice immediately with the local farmers the lessons he's learnt, and also provide data for research for international university colleagues to collaborate with them to test a thesis over a short timescale and develop working relationships with academics around the globe. My second example relates to teacher training and professional development. A crucial issue in the success of education is, of course, the quality of the teaching delivered. Basic, secondary, tertiary, vocational and higher education all need sufficiently motivated, trained and supported teaching staff if they're going to be successful. So for this example, the teacher is called Uzima. Uzima is a primary teacher in a semi-rural town that has also had a large migrant population of mine workers who bring their families with them for between 2 and 6 months. Therefore, her class can vary in size from 20 to 40 students and in ages between 8 and 12 years at any one time. Uzima finds it hard to support the education of both the local and permanent population and the transient students. Her challenge is to understand where students are in terms of their progress and levels of understanding at any given point, so she can adjust her teaching and provide appropriate lessons to meet the needs of all her class. This in itself is a real challenge to her own understanding and professional abilities, as she needs to constantly find different ways to engage and teach her ever-changing students. Uzima School has a standalone solar and wind hybrid station, a sort of telegraph pole solution with a small wind turbine and solar panel on it, that provides enough electricity to power approximately 20 laptops for 12 hours a day. She uses the one laptop the school has as a hub to carry out real-time assessments with her class every 3 days in literacy and basic maths using handheld assessment devices that are battery powered, and the batteries on these last approximately 12 to 18 months, and connect wirelessly to a laptop hub. This provides her with collated, marked feedback on each student's progress, so she can group them according to the ability for the next 2 days' activities. She also uses the assessment devices as a baseline tool to evaluate the starting points for the transient students so they immediately receive appropriate teaching activities. She also uses the connectivity the hybrid station has to access twice a week international teaching resources websites to download simple tasks for her students and to discuss and ask questions of colleagues in other countries on teacher forums and blogs on appropriate teaching methodologies and techniques. She can then share these with her colleagues, and a culture of sharing and professional development between teachers is established. Those are just a few examples of some of the ways in which renewable energies can open access both for the students and individual teachers and for systems. Now I'm going to talk about productivity of education. Providing a variety of renewable energy solutions to developed countries for specific purposes, for example, for the improvement of basic education, the creation of local higher education research, or simply to allow teachers and students to access a wide range of learning, teaching and professional development resources, has obvious benefits for the individual concerned. However, the spread of these solutions must bear important factors in mind if they are to succeed in the long term. First of all, what are the educational priorities of the locale or country? What form of technology will assist the delivery of these priorities? How can the long-term support and development of educational initiatives be monitored to ensure their effectiveness? Whilst the above is by no means an exhaustive list, if they are considered throughout the planning, implementation and monitoring of such initiatives, the chances of maximum educational productivity are increased. What with the increasing ability to reliable and affordable solar and wind energy can do for education is considerable and has huge potential if implementation is planned and focused effectively. So in conclusion, wider access to focused, directed and sustainable renewable energy sources, allied to similarly focused education technologies, can not only improve the lot of an individual, but if implemented correctly, can help a nation realise its economic potential faster than has been previously possible. We should not assume technology in education is the sole preserver of the developed world, and indeed we need to embrace the idea that accelerated progress for individuals and countries can be much greater in developing nations if planned and implemented effectively. However, the only way this can be practically carried out in a realistic time frame is via the use of local, affordable and reliable renewable energy sources. Partnerships between high-quality renewable energy solutions, such as those available from Future Renewables, focused and experienced education advice from the likes of Imagine Education, and high-quality appropriate technology from the likes of Promethean, is how educational advancement can realistically happen in developing countries. If you wish to find out more or would like to read the full discussion paper on access and opportunity in education via renewable education that I wrote, please visit the links below or see them on the webpage. Thank you very much.